All right, welcome back to Broke Snipes Garage. It's
Yeah, being broke takes a while to collect parts to keep a project going, so
yep,
that's why it's been a while.
yep. So we've got a bunch of parts that we've accumulated already, and more on the way. We went through a hurricane down here in Florida since the last time we recorded, so now the truck is covered with stuff and the garage was packed full of all my stuff from outdoors to put everything away for the hurricane. So now we got to clean everything all up and get everything back in order for working on the truck again.
Somebody's got some interesting news or good news, I guess.
Yep, I'm finally retiring from the Navy. I am, I guess, technically on my terminal leave now, which is basically I'm going to be on leave basically until I actually retire, my actual retirement date. So we'll have a little bit more time because my schedule was more restricting being on the ship than his was being at the trailers for waiting for his ship to get here. So he's still waiting on his ship to get here, so he's still got a little bit more time than I had when I was on the ship. So now now that I'm retiring, we'll have more time to actually be able to start working on the truck some more. Our hope is that within the next few months we'll be able to get it finished. We got most of the parts either here or on the way already. So there's only a few odds and ends that we're kind of waiting until we get to that point so we know exactly what we need that we got to order still. But we have a video that was before we quit working. We never got around to getting the editing done, so we'll be rolling into that while we start getting everything set up to clean up in here and everything. We'll be recording that. That'll be probably the next video of us actually cleaning the shop up and getting it ready, and probably starting to do a little bit of stuff. We got some odds and ends to do, and we're going to be making a list of all the stuff we got to get finished so we make sure we don't forget nothing and we don't overlook anything that we need to get ordered ahead of time and stuff like that.
Or tighten up so it doesn't come apart.
Yeah, because we still have some stuff that we haven't tightened. Like when we put the front end together, we put it all together, but we didn't actually tighten any of the tie rod ends and any of that stuff. So we got to tighten all that stuff up. We got to fill the rear end up with, finish filling it with fluid. We put some in, but not all of it. We got to get the rear brakes put back together.
That's why we need a list.
Yeah, this is why we need a list, because we got a lot of stuff to do. But like I said, we'll be putting in the video now of what we have already finished, and we just had to finish editing and stuff and get it out. So hopefully now things will be a little bit quicker and we'll have some videos out hopefully once a week now at least, so that we can give you guys some content to watch. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get to work on cleaning the shop. We'll show you guys around a little bit before we start. All right.
Welcome back to the shop.
Another day. We got things happening today in the shop.
Lots of things.
Finally, we got a chance that we can get to some stuff. We got some more parts in. So we pretty much got everything to rebuild the rear end, make it posi, with the exception of a couple parts that should be here within a few days. We got all the parts for the front suspension and rear suspension with exclusion of the shocks. Those are still on back order, of course. And
Of course.
yeah, that's the way everything seems to be going. I ordered about 2 months ago, I ordered the main caps for the engine to convert it to a 4-bolt main, and those are finally on their way. I just got an email yesterday saying that those were on their way. A couple other parts that we had ordered that were on back order are finally on their way in. Just like small things like the anti-rattle clips for the windows and the cowl that goes behind the front bumper to hide the space there below the grill. And then the other parking light for the front was on back order. We got one, but not the other, and now we got the other one on the way. And we just finishing cleaning up some parts so that we can, we'll show you around here in a little bit what's going on, but.
Let's just show them around now, and we can point out what's going on.
All right, so we got a bunch of the parts cleaned up over here so we can paint them. There's still a few parts left. You can see the spindles. One's in the blaster right now, and that one's still sitting there. We're cleaning up the drag link for the steering, and then the bearing caps and stuff like that are in there.
Then the big thing,
We got the,
frame is completely out from underneath the truck.
so we're going through and cleaning that all up, and then I'm going to clean underneath the cab so that we can do the undercoating. And then once we get the frame all cleaned all the way back to basically to the rear
Right
springs,
about right there.
then we're going to get that cleaned up, get that painted, and then we're going to put it back under the truck so that we can get the cab back on the frame, because I can't leave it sitting like this overnight. So in my neighborhood, and then once we get that back under, we also got this done as far as fiberglass work for the dash. We still got to sand it all down and then go through and do the touch-up stuff on it, and then resand it, get it all smooth and how we want it, and then we'll be painting that.
Got the glove box back in with a new lockable
Yep.
release.
We got the dome light in, and that's
Yeah,
the color
dome
blue that's
light.
going to be on the ends that are going to be the dash, and a few other things on the cab will be that color blue. We got a bunch of blue fittings for our AN hoses. Yeah, we're thinking we're going to put some stickers here before we clear coat, and clear coat right over the stickers so that they'll be on the firewall right there. But we're not going to do 4 jeg stickers like this. It's just taped up there. So
Yo, we should put like that and hide it right there.
I don't know, we might be able to fit that in there somewhere. We'll get it on there. We'll get it on here somewhere. And I guess that's pretty much where we're at right now. We just wanted to show you guys some of the progress along the way, so that you don't think things just magically happen here, because they definitely don't. We wish they did, but they don't.
The garage fairies got fired.
Yeah, we keep wishing that the gnomes would show up at night and start working on this, but they don't ever show up. So we're gonna get back to work. We might record a little bit while we're doing some of this stuff. I guess we'll see you in a little bit.
Turn 2 again.
All right, welcome back. Feel like we got quite a bit done today.
Yeah.
Doesn't look
exhausted.
like it that much, but we got the frame out from under the truck, under the cab, and got that cleaned up and painted, primed and painted, and then we cleaned up the underside, primed it, painted it. We used the rust inhibitor stuff on it, and then painted it with the undercoating.
That was a fiasco.
Yeah, that was,
That crap came out like brown.
yeah,
So we're hoping it dries black.
yep,
If not, the heck with it.
yep, that's what it's gonna be now. We got more parts primed and everything. We ran out of primer, so we're gonna have to go to the store tomorrow and get primer. And then we're gonna, hopefully tomorrow, we'll be able to get all the other parts done for the front end, primed and ready to paint. And then hopefully this stuff that we did today for the undercoating, hopefully will be dry enough. I'm pretty sure it will be to put the frame back underneath the truck or the cab, and then we'll be able to put the actual cab mounts in instead of blocks of wood. That'll be nice.
Yep. And the cab will be there.
Yep, and that's where it's going to be. So,
Yeah, it's been a rough day.
yeah. It's been,
Spilling paint.
yep, definitely. Big mess with black paint all over the floor.
Sorry.
It's all right. We had acetone, took it right off. Doing the painting underneath the cab when it's sitting on jack stands is not fun. Doing it on your back.
Not at all.
Yeah. So we thought about if the undercoating dries with a brown tint to it, or brown, that we would just go over it quick with the paint gun later, but that's going to be pretty impossible when you're painting like this. The paint doesn't feed very well.
It's okay. Just don't let anybody under the truck.
Yeah. So I guess that's where we're at, basically. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can get the frame back underneath, get the cab back on the frame. Hopefully, we can get all the front end parts painted and everything, and maybe sometime this week we'll get a day that I can get off work early enough that we can work on it and try and get the front end back together. And that way we can be sitting on all four wheels for
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds, so that we can rip the back end apart and get that out. Because like I said earlier, all the parts for the rear end will be here this week, so we can get that out, get it cleaned up, get that all painted, and then put the new, we're putting 342 gears in it. Posi. We got new axle shafts to put in. So basically the whole rear end is going to be completely rebuilt and all new. We got new ring gears, new pinion, new axles, new carrier. So the tube is all that we're keeping, the housing. So
Let's just hope all the new parts will hold up to the new engine.
yeah, hopefully. It says the axle shafts were chrome moly, so hopefully that'll be strong enough to hold up to the 383 stroker that we're building. We will find out for sure.
Definitely will test it.
Yes. So now we're starting to think about, I think things are going to go pretty quick as far as getting the front end back together and getting the rear end rebuilt and back under it, and then all the suspension stuff on, other than the shocks, because those are still on back order. I don't understand that, but
Now comes the expensive stuff.
yeah, now comes the expensive stuff, getting the engine, all the stuff to rebuild the engine. We're probably going to end up getting new doors for it, because the ones that were on it are pretty shot. We tried to save them, but I don't think we can get we replaced the lower skin on the one, and the upper part is just too far gone. And now that we've already taken it apart once and done the lower skin, I really don't feel like taking it back apart to do the upper skin or do the whole skin. So I think it's just to save the time, it's worth it to us to just buy new doors. So if you know anybody that wants to buy some doors that need a little work, hit us up in the comments.
Yeah.
Definitely have some available.
Shoot. We're going to have to
Somebody
start
that-
donating plasma.
Yeah. Yeah. This is getting to the point now where we might have to start donating plasma to get enough money to do this engine. Like I said, the name of our channel is Broke Snipes Garage, and because we're broke, and this truck is taking a lot more money than we thought it was going to. We've made it take more than what we originally planned.
A quick get it started and get it out.
Yeah. Originally started out as a get it running and get it out of here, and now it's turned into making it into a whole rat rod. And
It's going to be hard to let it go.
yeah, so it's going to be hard to let it go once we get it all done with all the work we've put into it. But eventually it'll go. We'll keep it for a little while, take it to some car shows and stuff, and then have to let it go at that point.
Yeah. have our fun with it, and then try something else. Hey, maybe in the next one, instead of going down, we should go up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either a four-wheel drive truck, make a mutter out of it, or a car.
Let's get a Prius and make it four-wheel drive
Yeah,
with a 12 valve.
that'd be pretty nice. A 12-valve Prius. So, all right. Well, I guess we will see you later. Post. All right, welcome back to another day in the garage. Today we got the front end all back together. Well, we got it back together the other day.
This is just updates.
Yeah, right now we're just updating where we're at. We got the front end all put back together. It's all been redone. New bushings in the control arms, new ball joints, new bearings in the spindle, new different spindles, different new rubs and hubs, or rotors and hubs, new rotors and hubs, and
It's not that kind of show.
new bearings and seals, and new brake lines, new brake calipers. So basically the whole front end has been rebuilt now. It's all back together and sitting down where it's going to sit, which you can see it's quite a bit lower than it was. You know, our bumper's going to be in my shin. So that's the 4-inch drop on the front. Now we're getting ready to
Push it out, spin it around, bring it back, and blow apart the rear end.
Yep.
Get that rebuilt. Maybe we'll get C-notches in today.
maybe we can get that far, and then get the axle all completely torn apart. We have everything with the exception of the new cover that's on its way already. So hopefully within the next week or so. Can't remember how long it's supposed to take for the cover to get here. I think about a week. I don't understand why it takes a week to get a cover here, but
Everything else you can get today
Yeah.
or tomorrow.
yep. But that should be here in about a week, so we should be able to have the rear end rebuilt and ready to put back in within about a week or so. And then, so hopefully next weekend we can be putting it back in and get the suspension drop done on the rear, and then the suspension and frame will all be done. And then it's on to finishing up the body and doing the engine. So I guess turn 2.
Yeah.
It's probably good because we want to try and keep it so that it's yeah, so it's not rolling. We're recording.
Yeah. Other way. Put the handle out.
Oh, you're gonna scratch the paint up on the. It should be good. We might have to move those buckets. Okay, let's bring it back this way so that we can try and get it, make sure we're lined up where we want it in the garage. That's probably good. Yeah, we're recording.
Kick on out.
Back. Say, trying to get them to go straight. I can't see over there, so you gotta tell me what we gotta do. Whoops.
Straight. It's so light, they don't.
Yeah. Right now it's light as hell.
Right, straight back.
No, they're turning big time. There. That's good. Right there. Should be one sitting right there for that side. That way we make sure that both of them are blocked. All right.
Dolly's definitely made
Now
my
it's all
job
flipped
easier.
around. We can go ahead and start tearing it apart.
Okay, so now we're working on getting the C-notches in. Made a template to match the inside of this, put it on the frame, marked up where we need to cut. Now we're going to use the plasma cutter and cut it out as straight as possible. Hopefully I don't mess it up, because frames are harder to repair than bodies. So here we go. Okay, so we didn't catch all the cutting, but because the camera died, but we got it cut out, so let's see if it fits. Probably not, because I'm not that good, but actually, by the time we clean this all up with the grinder, clean up to where it cut, it'll go right in there. Sweet. So let's get some grinding done and try it again. Safety first. More because I don't like getting burned. least it's only one. Yeah.
Might just be me not being professional,
And it's right on my marks. Sick. There's one spot.
What's up?
Needs to get a little bit there.
I think we're good.
No, there's too much of a gap. And I need to take these out a little bit wider.
I don't think it makes a difference because the top is flat.
Okay.
It's on all the way. It's just blanking in the frame. Just a touch.
So you good with that, or?
Well, the thing is I'd rather have the gap down here than up here where our bed's going to be on top of it, and who knows how much space we're going to have to
Yep.
pick it up.
Okay. Now we need a center punch. What?
lightning scissors or whatever you call them.
Lightning scissors. Now we've got to mark where the holes are, drill out some holes, and then
Really get into the ground.
that's fine. As long as I know basically where it is. Oh, just so everybody knows, this is my son Christopher.
Hi.
He wanted to come help out today. Okay, so we found the center punch. Now we're going to put in our guide holes. And then hopefully drill out holes big enough for the bolts eventually. Let me see one of those bolts. One more step. Oh, wrist breaker. I guess we're gonna weld it up. I mean, you guys have seen us weld enough, you probably don't need to see it anymore, so.
All right, welcome back. Kevin's running the camera now, so we can kind of show you guys what we got done today. This morning the truck was in here back forwards. Now we got it turned around. You should have seen it in the video. We got it in there, but we got the rear axle out. Got the springs off. Got the bushings out of the springs. Got the axle stripped down. It's laying out there drying. We put it over the parts washer and cleaned it all up. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
But now it's pretty much cleaned all up. We got to take it and get it powder coated. We got all the bearings out of it and races out for the pinion, as we got all new. Oops, hold on. Try and get it. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm trying to hold it so the light gets in there. They're still pretty rough in there. We ran a brush through it to try and clean it up some, but it's still gonna need some more work. But it looks a lot better than it did. We got the backing plates. Kevin did one of those. And we got the C-notches cut out and put in, bolted and welded both, so that they're good and strong.
Managed to get one plate done today. And it's late already. We've been working on this stuff for
Quite a while now.
8 hours today. And in the Florida heat, that's a lot.
Yeah. So that's where we're at now. I think that's going to do it for us tonight.
Post.
All right, welcome back. It's been a while since we've worked on the C10. Kevin's holding the camera because we're going to kind of show a little bit. We have done a little bit of work on it, but it's not been hot and heavy like it used to be, with me working all the time and Kevin working. We both have got to stay at work a little bit later now. Now I'm back to the point of being able to get out early, but Kevin's got to stay later, so it's kind of hard working schedules out. But soon I'll be retired, and then the schedules will be a lot easier to match up.
Well, you'll be retired.
Yeah, I'll be retired. Kevin's still got another year or so left. All right, so we got the rear end back in. We finished the rebuild. We got the posi rear end, new axle shafts, new gears in it, and all put back together. We bought the Mosier cover for the back that has the braces that go up against the carrier caps to help distribute some of the torque that gets put on them when you're taking off and everything. We got the 6-inch lowering on the rear because we flipped the axle around, and got the drop brackets for the shocks. We got the shocks put in. We haven't got the brakes all put on yet. We just slapped the tires onto the axles right now. We have all the stuff for brakes because we already had replaced all that. We just haven't put it back on yet. The frame's all done back here, so we're pretty much done on the rear for suspension and everything.
Kind of wish it would tuck the wheels like that, but they're still going to be tucked a little bit.
Yeah, when we're with this in here, it's probably going to be about somewhere in here, right?
Right.
To look level, so it's a good drop. But then we got the steering column all put back in. The steering wheel's not actually mounted on there yet, it's just pushed on there. But we got the adapter to put the steering column in, and got it all hooked up in the dash. As far as the dash goes, there's none of the wiring's hooked up or anything like that. None of the clock springs or anything like that's in it yet.
Basically just put it in there so we could sit in the seat and figure out where we wanted the column to be in respect to how we sit.
Yep. So we're going to have to redo the the part of the dash that covered up the steering column, because the notch that we cut out for the old steering column was wider, so it shows a lot more still, so we're gonna have to redo that box that covers it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was not fun the first time.
And then the front, we got the steering components all put in, all the tie rod ends and drag link and idler and pitman arm all hooked back up. They're not tightened up yet because we gotta put the grease zerks in some of them and get the cotter pins through them and tighten them and put the cotter pins in. And we got the steering gearbox mounted. We got the couplings that we're putting in to put AN line over to the power steering pump. But that's pretty much where we're at. We got the front shocks in. So that's what we've gotten done so far. It's going to be a little bit before we are going to be working on this anymore. Like I said, I'm getting ready to retire, and I think we're going to end up selling our house. So we're doing a few projects around the house to get that ready so that we can put it on the market. And then we're going to try and move out into the country someplace where we got a little bit more property and we can get a bigger shop to work in, so that we can work on more than just one car at a time, because being in an HOA, we can't have cars sitting around any place that are waiting for us to work on them. So
I think the next part, big piece we might start working on is going to be the box. Start trying to get that back together.
yep, we're not sure what we're doing as far as the bed yet, whether we're going to spend the money to get the real wood bed that goes in it, or if we're just going to put like a couple pieces of plywood and, you know, flex seal them on the bottom and sides, and then stain them and try and make it look decent on the top.
We are
Or-
broke, so
Yeah.
that might be the easier way
We
to
are
go.
broke, so it may be the latter. But we'll keep you updated as time goes. Unfortunately, we were in such a rush on the rear end and everything that to try and get it done, that we just completely didn't even think about the fact of getting the camera out and recording. That doesn't work very good for a YouTube channel, though. So
Yeah.
we'll try to do a better job of making sure we capture everything that we're doing so you guys can see as we go along. But it's definitely way, way better than it was when we got it. But with the amount of dust that's settling on it, it's almost a barn find again. All right, so I think that's it
Post.
for this episode. Post.